Number one thing for safety is never noodle by yourself. Always noodle in numbers, always noodle with people who's got experience. I like to take 4 to 5 guys usually, because like most rocks have 4 to 5 holes on them. Well, if I'm underneath the water and he's underneath the water, and if he comes up and goes back down while I'm down or something, you don't know who's been down the longest. So you always want somebody stay above water to say, hey, that guy's been down too long. You know, the guys I noodle with, if I get a hold of a fish and I got problems, or if I'm coming out with him, a lot of times I'll kick my feet a lot. That way they know, hey, he's getting ready to bring it out, and they know to get over and help grab hold of it. But experience is number one thing. Never go with anybody that really hasn't done it first. I mean, don't go out and try it on your own unless you've got somebody that's going to teach you a little. You look right here, you see how many rocks there are. There ain't that many holes. So if you really don't know what you're looking for, you'd be out here all day long and never touch a fish because you didn't know how to look for it properly. But numbers is the number one thing. Like him slipping off over by himself right now, I'm still trying to keep an eye on him in case he goes down. That way I know where he's at. You know, always pay attention who's around you, where they're at, who's up, who's been down, and all that. Never get away where you're by yourself. Always somebody's got to be keeping an eye on you. Basically what you do is you just look for big rocks when you're looking for the hose, and then you start going around the edges of the rocks until you find something that dips back in. If you find something that dips in and it's clean, going around the rock and see if there's other ones, because you don't want to reach into one hoe before you know if there's no more, because you'll run a fish out. A lot of times you'll reach in, if you touch him, he comes out where you didn't know there was a hose. So go all the way around the rock, make sure what's going on, and then once you know how many holes you got, then come back, block them all, and then you work the fish. You may have to work him from that side to this side back and forth with sticks, or depending on how big the hoe is, sticks or hands, until you can get one of you can get him close enough to where you can grab a hold of him. A lot of times there'll be one great big hoe and the rest of the hoes will be little. And a lot of times you'll get the fish up there and can't get them out of the small hoes, but you can put the stringer in them, string them up, and then let them run back to the other guy can grab the stringer, grab the fish to pull them out. When you're working a stick, you always have your hand over to the side waiting as you're working that stick, and then when he comes, you grab him by that bottom lip and then let go of your stick and then come over and grab him and get a hold of him both sides. You're underwater, you ain't gonna see it, so it's all by feel. And it's all by what you know what to do with them hands. A lot of people grab a fish and they'll get desperate and think, oh, well, I gotta bring him out, and they'll run out of air, and they don't have him right. As they go to bring him up, they lose the fish. If you don't have him to where you think it's right, put him back in there, come up, get your breath, do it again. Because that fish ain't going nowhere as long as he's in that rock and you got him blocked. But as soon as you pull him out, he ain't going back in that rock. So you've got to make sure all your ducks are in a row before you go to pulling them out. I mean, that's just our rules. I'll string the great big ones, a lot of them up right in the hole, you know, rather than let somebody get hurt by twisting on them or tearing them up. Yeah, when that fish is biting at you, a lot of people, your first reaction is to jerk. My reaction is to go forward, because he's going to bite you and back up. So if you just keep after him, you know, if he don't bite you, you ain't going to grab him. So you've got to get him to bite you to start with. But once he bites, just keep working, grab him and pull him. Don't jerk. That's the fish's teeth are folded backwards, like this in his mouth. So when you jerk, that's what gets you. If you just stay with it and just keep going forward with him, he don't tear you up near as bad. I usually grab him like this, get him up, and then get your second hand, grip him there, and then after you get it there, then roll over and grab the other side. Before you ever bring him out of the hole, you've got to have both hands just like that.
Show him how you cross your hands, turn them upside down.
I'll turn him up like that, or a lot of times if I can grab him, pull him up, I'll spin him over and grab him like this. That fish is dormant. He won't do nothing. He's yours. See their teeth, how they stop right here on the sides? That's why you always get your thumbs in the corners. There's no teeth there, and then your fingers through the gills. If you get him like that on both sides, keep him from doing all that and spinning. If you just try to hold him one hand, he spins, he'll break off every time. But as long as you can get him just like that, that fish is yours. But there's no teeth right here to where they tear your thumbs up. These little fish ain't nothing, but them bigger fish, that tail right there, as soon as you bring him out of the hole, you try your best to come up and put him between your legs and hold him with your feet or legs. That way you can keep him from doing that spinning. If you don't have him like that, I mean, right there I can hold them usually while they're stringing them. I'll usually let go while they string them. as long as I get my legs around it. But if you don't control that tail, there's no way you can control the fish. I mean, them little ones. And just imagine a 40, 50 pounder, what he can do to you with his power.